Hello everybody again. I'm Field Master Jonathan Blackburn. I'm currently playing for Wales in the Chess Olympiad taking place in Budapest, Hungary. Just going to do a quick recap of our round 5 match against Botswana. As you can see here on the stream, you can see that it finished 2-2, which was a draw. Which going into the round probably weren't too happy with. We would have wanted to try and win this match. I'll just quickly show you that we outrated them quite significantly, but not really enough for it to be an easy one. And so, for example, Jose was on top board and played against 2230. Dan was against nearly 2000. I was against somebody 2064, and Alex was against a high 1900 as well. So when you look at the ratings, you should think that we should run out quite easy winners. However, it didn't really go that way, I'm afraid. I think this country was definitely underrated. It was a really tough match. And we had to use every ounce and fibre of our body, all the tricks and traps that we know, just to make sure we didn't lose this match. This was very close, and could have been a real big upset. I think first we were all playing actually till quite late. This was one of the first times where all 4 of us were still going. And suffering. I think the only person that actually had it, I don't want to say easy, it was still a tough game for him, but he had it easier than the rest of us, was Alex, who was playing black here, and he got a good opening out the Caro, and I think he was very happy with how this opening went, I believe that he played on a very long endgame, and his opponent didn't resign. But it looked like to me that he was always in the ascendancy. It was just a case of when he's going to wrap it up, and you can see here that he's got pawn on e2, but he's able to win the rook. He wins a piece here, and then he's just got this ending to convert a piece up with an outside pass pawn. And his opponent played on till checkmate, and they went to 99 moves, but clearly could have easily resigned right here. So no idea why he played on. Just make sure, is that in the centre of the screen? No, it's not. Okay, let me just change that round. There we go. But yeah, it was it was good to see that Alex was ahead, because that made me feel a little bit better, because my game was a bit worse. I got surprised in the opening by a quite nice move order by my opponent. And here after c6, maybe I should have gone knight f3, but knight c3 is the main move, and he played e5, and I was just like, oh, I've seen this before. I couldn't quite remember how the line actually went, and I knew the first couple of moves, which is like takes and d4, and then knight here, and then like queen check, and they take this pawn back. But I just, if my opponent's prepared this and looked at it before the game, and I haven't, it's not a case that you're scared that you're going to lose, but why go into something that they're comfortable with, and why not go into something that I'm comfortable with? So actually here I played quite, and actually we showed the opening to Alexei Shirov last night, actually. Former world, he's done everything, he's still an amazing player. And he called my move a coward's move. I'm very proud of it. I played e3, and I basically said, well, I'm playing a French defence now, but just with the white pieces. And now I'm into something that I know quite a lot about. But I think because I was so happy that I actually converted into a French defence a tempo up, I became a little bit too overconfident, and actually after this and this, I should have just played knight f4 here, in which case when he has to take here, otherwise I'm going to take and win the pawn. And I get quite a unique position like this, and it's quite nice to play these positions, even the tempo up with the French. But I just took a bit too soon, and I thought, okay, am I winning this pawn on d5? With just this move, and it actually transposes to a mainline French, but the difference is that white's bishop normally goes to e2, and then later on it comes to b4. So but in this game, you're going to see the bishop come to b4 later on, just in one move, so it transposes, which is quite annoying. So I couldn't make use of my tempo up, and here bishop b4 is the only way to save the pawn, and then I just make bad decision a couple of moves. I mean, pawn takes is very risky here, because this pawn is c3 is backwards. If black can play knight a5, knight c4, then it's going to be really good for him if he can get his king castled. But I trap his king, I want to say in the centre, And after knight a5, queen here, you can't play knight c4 straight away because I have this knight takes d5 move when you can't take with the queen because it's mate. So I'm able to win a pawn there, and that's really good for me. So he plays b6, and then here I just completely miss his next move. The move that I would have played had I seen what he was going to do was I would have played c4 myself, because if knight takes, I can do knight takes d5, and we'll swap off some pieces, but at the end of the day I'm going to have this pawn structure with a pawn on d4 protected, passed in the centre. It's going to be a real big weapon for me to use, even though I'm not any material up. And if he takes with the pawn, then the problem is he's a bit stuck on what to do now, because his knight is kind of, if he wants to keep the pawn up, well, he's going to have to protect it. You know, if he wants to ever move his knight, he's going to have to protect this pawn because I can very easily attack it with a rook. But you know, there's ideas like smashing open the centre with f3, playing d5, and actually this is what the computer suggested afterwards as well. So I would have done, this was my original plan. But then I saw this move f3 and I thought this was really good, and unfortunately it was not good. So I'll tell you what, I've flipped the board here. You know, it's black to play in this position. You know, you can't castle kingside. White's coming down. We're opening up the f file. There's potential sacrifices. I thought maybe g5 was a plan. I think I would have moved the knight back here, but I was seriously considering just sacking the knight and getting into a crazy position like this and doing rook takes h4, or maybe rook takes f4, maybe rook takes f4 here. But I could easily move the knight back and cause some issues. And I was just like, well, I can't see what he's going to do. Obviously, I'm hoping for him to play knight c4 so that I can do knight takes d5. But he came up with an absolutely amazing move here that I just did not see. And it is castles queenside. And I'm just like, what? Where did that come from? You know, that's just a really, really good move. I was not expecting castles queenside here at all, and basically it goes from me thinking that I may be winning the game to oh no, I'm losing now, because I've not got any tactics. My position and pawn on c3 is really bad, so he can just gang up on it. The knight's coming into c4 and I can't remove it, so I'm really close to losing this. And okay, I get a little fortunate that he kind of just comes up with the wrong plan at the key moment. He starts to create a pass pawn on the queen side. And this pawn really should win in the game. He just needs to swap pieces off, but he goes for this wrong plan of playing, eventually he plays g5 here, which is just, I mean, he shouldn't have swapped pawns on f3 as well. And then here I'm drawing, but I still try to mess it up the best I can. And here I should take with the pawn, and there's a beautiful line here where he goes a3, bishop takes pawn, knight takes bishop, rook h1. If I'm able to take both pawns, then I'm going to get the draw. So he probably has to do something like, I don't know, king d6. Let me just go up again. King d6, rook takes h5, and rook e6 in order to keep the game alive. Because if I take that pawn, rook versus rook and knight is a dead draw. Although some people have won it, but I'd back myself to draw it for sure. And okay, I think here maybe if this ever happens, I can probably just go king here, and say, well, these three pawns are super, super strong. So it's probably not the best idea for him. He can't take this pawn on e4 because after rook takes h5, I'm winning the pawn on h6, and there's nothing you can do about it. He can't go rook e6 straight away because we've got d5 check, and if he inserts this check move, I move towards the pawn, rook here, and then we have this very nice rook a5 attacking the knight and threatening rook a6 check, winning the rook at the same time. So this would have been an easier draw, but instead I took with the rook, and it was another mistake, and very nearly lost this endgame. I think we've just worked out that actually it was drawn in the end, but it was very, very close to being lost. He didn't play it perfectly here, but in the end we got to this position here, and he just can't make any progress. So he didn't even try for 50 moves because there was no point. So we agreed to draw here at this point. Daniel was doing really well out the opening, but unfortunately missed a win. I don't actually know where the win was. I can't remember what it was. Let's see if I can scroll down. The opening, I think, had gone very well for him in general. King g1's a blunder, and queen d1 check, king here, 96. Knight c7 is blunder, and black is winning here. And the point is that after knight d4, queen f3, king here, and here, what is, oh hang on, queen f3 check. What's the computer saying here? It's -6 here at this point. The win is knight e2. And why does that win? Oh, is the point something on the lines of check, king f3, knight back to here check? Yeah, and then the king's out in the open, and then you're going to be able to start attacking it. So okay, so it goes something like knight here, queen check, king here, knight check, king e3, and then apparently king d1. Queen d1 is really good, but I'm sure there's probably quite a few moves in this position that would win. So he played ever so well to get himself into a winning position, and then just at the wrong moment, just played the wrong continuation, and he went from winning to losing relatively quickly. And there's this amazing idea here that this knight actually just comes back in time to save the day, and it's not even to f4, sorry, it's after e3, it's to go check and then to here, which is just absolutely mental. So I think he couldn't do anything about that, and this knight was coming back in with a tempo, and then he went on to lose this game. So that was a really tough one for us to take. And a bit harsh on Daniel. I think he played better than that, but okay. And then, well, like I said, we were very lucky to draw this match. But okay, maybe we could have won if Daniel's game had gone differently, but it wasn't looking good for Jose on board 1 against the 2200. So we'll pick it up somewhere around here. I'm just going to get to a key moment. I think it's bishop a7, and then where did this happen? Oh yeah, queen e3. And here his opponent just goes b6 and he blunders a full piece. So obviously not what you want. I mean, they're both down to 11 and 10 minutes each here. But okay, it's just that's just harsh, right? I mean, blundering a piece is not ideal, and then swapping queens off even worse. His opponent's done pretty much everything right, but Jose's a tough cookie to beat, and he makes it really difficult for his opponent, and he keeps playing on and on and on. And then he's a piece down, he should be completely lost. But, you know, as the pawns start to get swapped off, he's just keeping his chances alive. He's going to keep checking, he's going to keep attacking things, keep making it difficult for his opponent. And then in the end, he gets his rewards, because after this happens, check, king here, rook here, and then king c5. So rook h2, king c5, and he gets his draw in a time scramble. So Jose had to dig deep and work hard, and then he gets into this drawn endgame, which is quite easy to draw with a rook's pawn. So yeah, okay, 2 draws. Me and Jose could have easily lost. Daniel's game could have gone either way, and that gave them 2 points. And then Alex saved our bacon, shall we say, to get us back to 2-2. I'm just back from the round 6 game. I'm not going to tell you how that's gone so far. Alex is still playing though, and the other 3, me and the other 2 have finished. But just about to go to get tea, and then it's off to the Bermuda party just to see what it's like, and then I'll probably get an early buzz back, I think. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, everybody. Play through the games, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.